Welcome to MCG University. In this video, we will be discussing how to navigate the system. If you are new to SAP, this may or may not be the look that you see. We have updated the cockpit, which can be updated using this pencil. You can add and remove different widgets, functions, or graphs associated with your experience. And each group of users can be shared across the board. Throughout the system, there are quite a few out-of-the-box modules that exist. Go through each one of them briefly. The administrative is a section which deals with all the setup tables, company information, different utilities, approval processes, and alerts. There's a financial module, which really deals with the chart of accounts, journal entries, fixed assets, and budgeting. The CRM is an internal built CRM, which manages communications between you and your leads, and it also manages internal tasks created within the organization. So it is a way for you to manage the flow of any of the documents, communicating and setting tasks and alerts for different users in the system. The opportunities works with the CRM, and manages the entire process from start to finish of gaining a lead and hopefully turning that into a sales order and that entire flow. The sales process starts from the sales quote or sales order and flows all the way to the AR invoice or AR credit memo. It's also reporting availability for this entire sales process. You also have the purchasing process, which begins either at an internal purchase request or a purchase quote and flows all the way down to the AP invoice and a credit memo. Business partners is the term used for relationship between your company and any customers and or vendors or leads. A business partner designates all your relationships you have. Banking module handles all deposits, incoming and outgoing payments. Inventory manages the item at a master level and any of the transfers in and out of the system, picking and packing, and reports. Resources are anything from labor, machine time, any resources used in your production process. They work hand in hand. In the production process, you have your bill of materials, your production orders, and any of the management there within. MRP, which is Material Resource Planning, is how a tool used to manage the entire process of ordering based on demand, based on forecasting, based on purchase orders, all of the documents within the system. It takes all of those things into consideration in order to plan accordingly. There's a service module, which handles any equipment that you sell to your customers and how do you service them, whether it's through contracts, serialized numbers, ports. This also works in conjunction with the mobile app. Human resources is a module to manage those employees within the organization. Project management is another tool to manage internal projects. And reports is a module that summates all of the reports throughout the system, and each of those sections will have their own reporting section. This is a cumulative section of all those reports. Most people identify the different documents, reports that they work with, and these can be dragged over to this common function area, and basically with a click can get you to where you're looking to go. As you can see, the icons at the top, some of them are highlighted and others are grayed out. So when you're working with certain documents or reports, some of them will be lit up and others will be grayed out. Launch application. This basically allows you to launch an executable of any type of a application straight from SAP. You can lock the screen. The only way for somebody to get into the system under your user is if they know your password. We have a query manager, which manages any queries that are created in the system, and you can navigate to them and launch them straight from here. We also have live collaboration, which is a messaging system which allows you to communicate with any users that are logged in at that time. You can pass information back and forth. There's also a send to conversation button, so if you're working on a specific document, you can add that to the conversation and it'll create a link to that document so the user on the other side can just click straight to that link. There's a workflow list. There's messaging internal within the system and external emails. A calendar, which manages all of your tasks internally. You have a personal settings button, which allows you to update your display settings, different settings associated with each user or your specific user. There are other buttons here available to promise, which is a process in the system that identifies the entire 360 view of a particular item, things that are coming in on order, things that need to go out, what your inventory situation at each of your warehouses are. You also have a delivery schedule management, which allows you to allocate specific items to specific orders and assigns them to be prepared for shipment. There's a cash flow forecast button, which basically launches the report, all the conditions that are associated with that forecast. You have pervasive analytics, which is a way to manage KPIs, dashboards, and various reports in the system that can be exposed to your cockpit or run as reports. There is also a web client, which is a browser-managed experience that has functionality that can be used by different users in the organization. Now, if I click on a particular document here, let's say a sales order, I will see that a lot of these other icons have lit up. So these arrows allow you to navigate within this document structure. You can go back and forth one by your document, or you can go all the way back to the beginning of that document structure. So in this case, I can go one by one to cycle through the documents, or I can go all the way back to the first document. As I mentioned, there are a lot more icons that have lit up. And so there's previewing of layouts. You can print a document. You can email a document. You can text a document, fax a document, or through Office 365 integration, you can export that document to your Office 365 account and be able to view that document in Excel. You also have the ability for Word, PDF. Within this document, there are two methods of either searching for a particular document. You can find that document through many methods, or this is an add button. So if you were to manually create a new order, this is how you could do it. There is also what's called a refresh button. So if any of this information has changed and you're in an existing document, always click that refresh button and it'll refresh this document. These two buttons basically navigate back and forth in the document flow. So if you're clicking on target document, basically goes to the next document in line. In this case, we have a sales order to a delivery, and now we're on the delivery. And now you will see that this doc is now available, which is the base document. So the base document of this is this sales order. Or you can go straight to the last document, which is the AR invoice. We can view the relationship map, which will give us the entire flow. You can always double click on that to get to that document. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to Michell Consulting Group and visit us at mitchellgroup.com for more information.